this is Rob Jackson with Fandroid.com, and this is our review of the brand new Sony Internet TV with Google TV, the NSZ-GS7, which is Sony's second generation of Google TV devices. You can see in my own personal setup, I've got the old Sony Internet TV Blu-ray box, and it differs in a few key ways from the product we've got here. This is just a set-top box, so it doesn't come with anything but Google TV functionality. Most people already have a Blu-ray player and they have everything they need, so this is a more affordable alternative to get that Google TV experience. The most noticeable difference in the new Sony Google TV is the remote. Now here we've got the new remote. You can see it looks much more like a traditional television remote. The old version over here looks like a gaming hybrid remote control with a QWERTY keyboard on the front. So they chose to go the more traditional route, and they improved it with a large trackpad area. You can see the old trackpad was an optical trackpad in the top right and was just weird, didn't respond well, and was tough to use. So they greatly improved the trackpad experience. The trackpad on the new one is actually clickable, so if you press it in, you can make selections, which is nice. So another feature is the QWERTY keyboard, which is on the back. You've got a full QWERTY keyboard, and so you can flip between using the trackpad, using the keyboard. We'll talk about the keyboard in a little bit. Now the actual set-top box comes in an attractively small frame. It's 8 inches wide, it's 5 inches deep, and it's 1.4 inches high. So when you compare that to a phone like the Galaxy Nexus, you can see it's pretty darn slim, and this thing is about 1.3 pounds. So a nice slim frame to fit into your media center. Taking a look around the box, on the very front we have the connection indicator light, so you can tell if the box is on or off. On the bottom and the sides you've got these grates for the fan, and all the action happens on the back, all the connectivity. So on the left hand side we can see there's the HDMI in and the HDMI out. Next to that, the digital optical out. Then you've got the IR blaster for use with the remote. If you want to hardwire internet, you've got the LAN, 2 USB slots, and then of course your power source. The box is powered by a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor with 8 gigabytes of onboard flash memory. Remember, you also have those 2 USB ports for external memory or for connecting your laptop or whatever you'd like. And we should also mention that those 2 HDMI slots are 3D compatible, so if you've got a 3D TV, you're in luck. If you can't hardwire your internet connection, fear not. This device does have Wi-Fi, which is a great feature. It's also got Bluetooth, and that's how your remote control works. Hopefully, in the future, we'll see some accessories work with that as well. Installing the Google TV really couldn't be easier unless you paid someone to do it for you. Here I've got my TV set up with my garbledy wires on wires, and the cable box is there on the top. So we're going to connect the Sony TV to that by taking the signal out of the TV, putting it into the Sony Internet TV with HDMI, and then plugging that into the TV. So the cable signal will pass through the Google TV into our actual TV. Now your cable TV box will need HDMI out. Talk to them about that. Here we've got the HDMI running out of the cable box. Here's the other end. We're putting it into the HDMI in of the Google TV box. Pretty straightforward. And then we're taking the signal out, so then HDMI out of the Google TV box. And our other end is actually already plugged into the Google TV. You can see from before. Now, of course, we need a power source, so we're going to plug this end into the AC in, and I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out where this goes. Don't forget your IR blaster, which will let your remote talk to the GTV, which will talk to other devices like Blu-ray players or gaming consoles and things of that nature. The worst mistake you can make is forgetting the batteries in the remote control. So look at this little button, you just press it down and it's a faceplate that pops off and reveals 2 battery areas on the left and right. So make sure you get your plus and your minus headed the right way, and then snap the faceplate back on and you're in business, ready to rock with Sony Internet TV. See, there we go, green light means it's working. Let's test it up. So to pair your remote with the TV, make sure you're on the actual remote side, not the keyboard side, and hold down the function key and the enter key at the same exact time, and then just wait until it says success. And there we go. Pairing succeeded. Now we get to go through a lovely startup process, selecting our language. We get a little tutorial. This is how you use the touchpad. This is how you scroll. This is how you select a language. This is how you want to set up your screen. This part's actually kind of important. You want to make sure that the viewing area is maximized. So be very careful and do it to the exact pixel. Don't go one pixel over. Don't go one pixel less because it will compromise your experience. Then you connect to the internet, pretty obvious, Wi-Fi, and put in your password. We're connected. And then you attach your Google account, which is a nice feature. It's dark, so I just held down the function key with the magnifying glass, and that turns on your light, the backlight of the keyboard, which is nice. So I was using that while I was setting up the TV. And then you say what kind of TV you have. I have a Samsung. I didn't know the model number, but it didn't seem to matter. I just hit next and tested the volume, and the volume worked perfectly. There you go. So my TV, from a hardware standpoint, is connected. Now it's telling you what you can do. If you have other peripherals and multimedia equipment, you can set it up there as well. Now it zooms you through, tutorial of this is how the TV works. Speaking of how the TV works, this is running Android 3.2, which is the version of Google TV that pretty much every single Google TV product is running right now. So it's identical. Nothing's really changed. You can see on the left here there's notifications. They've got all apps, live TV, TV and movies. I've got Netflix here installed. There's YouTube, the Google Play Store to download apps, Google Chrome, and then Sony Store and search. So there is the full menu that you normally see. You go into all apps, and this is pretty much like your app tray on your phone or your tablet. So that's pretty much the same. Live TV lets you jump to live TV, obviously. Then you've got TV and movies, which is Google's own service for kind of showing you what you can watch, what's cool, and allows you to rent movies from different places and see live TV shows and rate things. But let's take a step back for a minute, because what we see with this Google TV on the new Sony Internet TV box is pretty much, from a software standpoint, what we already see on all the Google TVs out there. It's Android 3.2. You get what you see. Is that good or bad? Well, it does some things really well. For example, I'm watching TV. My friends are talking about the new Google TV box, so I want to tell them what's going on. I put the show I'm watching in picture in picture. I search for Fandroid Google TV review. I bring up the results while we're still watching our TV show. I get to see integrated, YouTube videos, web searches, suggestions, things that might be on TV with Fandroid, and I can jump to watch the Baltimore Orioles game. They start talking about Matt Wieters. He's at bat. Check out these stats, and then an argument breaks out between my friends. He's great. No, he sucks. Oh, he is the best person on the planet. And then, all right, let's settle it. Let's just look. Let's search. So we search Google TV, and it gives us TV results, web results, YouTube results. Other apps can tie into there, so you can, if there's a baseball app that you have downloaded on your TV, you could search that. And you can go ahead, and in a second you'll see we can watch the game while we're searching. And it's really cool to be able to have that integration with web and TV all on that one big screen in one integrated experience. However, beyond that core experience, Google TV is pretty annoying to use. It's glitchy, it's laggy, it doesn't always work how you want it to, and that's no fault of Sony. Actually, this is the best Google TV box that you can buy at the moment, and Google just needs to update the system and make it better, and needs to push the apps more and push better app development, because the apps are kind of a mess too. Besides some great apps out there like Netflix, like Redux, there's some really cool ones, but they're limited. So um, Google needs to do a better job. And once Google releases a new version of this operating system, which fingers crossed will be awesome, and developers start developing awesome apps and games for the platform, this Sony Internet box will get the operating system update, and the experience itself will be loads better. So go ahead and Google it, search for reviews of the new Google TV with Android 3.2, and you can read all about it, because it's not anything new from this product standpoint. What is new Let's talk about that. The remote. So, brand new redesigned remote, as we talked about before. Let's go through it a little bit. On the right hand side of it is actually the volume rocker, the channel changer, and a mute button. You can see I can press the up and down button, and in the background, the TV changes channels. Kind of interesting to have it on the side there. It is in its own secluded type of position, but most people use their thumb or their finger to change channels? So then on the front, you've got the power buttons for the TV, the change of input, the whole system. You can access the TV guide, access DVR, and live TV. And you've got your D-pad, the up and down and left and right, and make selections. Picture in picture, back button, home key, and menu key. Those are just like Androids and other places, and they work very similarly. Then we've got fast forward. In some cases, you have to hold the fast forward button down, and this whole thing's clicky, so the fast forward button's clicky as well. And you can see right there how clicky it actually is. It's a nice feel to it. You've got the function key there. You've got play, pause, and info, and then the bottom row of keys. Now that function key, if you have that going, you can do a drag and drop for the trackpad as well. So on the back there, you saw a keyboard. Here we go. You can see it's got a dedicated number row up by the escape button, numbers 1 to 9, 0. The live TV button going across to the right, and that star, which allows you to favorite programs and channels and stuff like that, which is nice. Press the function key and that magnifying glass, and you'll get the backlight, which we showed you earlier. Um, and you've just pretty much got a QWERTY keyboard. Use the function key with these other buttons. You can see the orange, the fast forward and pause and all that stuff. And at the top there's the info, wide, 3D, and you can access those buttons. They're alternate controls for use with the function, so pretty commonplace. There is the D-pad in the bottom right as well. And pretty typical actually for a QWERTY keyboard. Type pretty quickly, which is nice for searching the web or typing the names of programs. The part that I found a little bit annoying is how you may use this in a general workflow. You're changing your channels, you want to go to the guide because you can't find what you want, then you want to go up and down, and then you're like, you know what, I'm just going to watch this, so you want to search the name for it, and then you're doing a lot of work. And for a control that, it looks very traditional for one-handed use, you're doing a lot of maneuvering of the remote. So there are a lot of elements you've got to jump around between. There's that dedicated pause and play and fast forward there, but on the other side you've got to use the function button for it. So if I want to fast forward or play, I may go back to the front, and then if I want to use the mouse, then I'm going to go over back to this side, and then I want to drag and drop something or scroll. So it depends how you use your TV if you're going to like this remote or not. I kind of tend to prefer the previous version of the Sony Google TV remote, but that's probably partially because I got so used to it. So I don't know. It's a tough call here. I like some of the elements they've got. The full QWERTY keyboard's nice. The trackpad's definitely nice, but I'm not convinced that it flows together when you're actually using the keyboard and the remote control in a real life setting, depending on the way you watch TV. So that's something you probably need to determine. So what is the conclusion on this new Google TV by Sony? Well, first of all, props to Sony for sticking with Google TV. It's still got a long way to go, and they're working their butts off with all these different devices, from TVs to Blu-ray players to set-top boxes, and they're working with what they've got. They're reworking and redesigning the controller, so they're doing a lot of stuff, and I hope that we see a Google Nexus TV, and I hope that Sony makes it. And as far as hardware goes, the box is great. I think it's going to be affordable, and it will be great for people who just want the Google TV experience added to what they've got now. Although, be warned, it's nothing that's going to blow you away. An update could change all that, and if you're an early adopter, might be something you really want to check out. The new remote it has some improvements and it has some oddities about it. So it's kind of a wash. It's interesting. At least now you've got a couple different options for remotes, though. So all in all, the Sony Internet player with Google TV, the brand new one, the NSZ-GS7 with Android 3.2, looking pretty good. A strong product, nothing again that's going to blow you away, but we're waiting on Google to fill their end of the bargain with this whole Google TV thing. So stay tuned. We'll let you know as Google TV news comes, and hope for the best. This is Rob Jackson with Fandroid.com. Take care.